Welcome to October, and it is time once again to head back to the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 eShop to talk about incredible eShop games that you should be playing today. Now, some of these do have a physical release, some of them are purely digital, but there are going to be 10 awesome games here, and I think you're really going to love the game of the month, because I know I do. Spoilers, it's probably going to be my game of the year. Let's kick things off right now with a fantastic remaster of one of the greatest strategy RPGs of all time. When I think of games that dominated my life in my 20s, Final Fantasy Tactics is near the top of the list because it was something that just spoke to me. I loved the world of Ivalice. I loved the tactical combat. I loved the characters, the job classes, everything. I loved every single thing about this game. The stuff I didn't like was stuff that I could deal with. You know, the grindiness, the extra kind of time capsule that you had to set aside for your life to be put in because you were going to be obsessed with Final Fantasy Tactics. And I'm so happy that Final Fantasy Tactics The Ivalice Chronicles exists because there's some sincere quality of life improvements in this game. You have the original version, so if you want to play the classic version, you can do that. But there's also the remaster version, which does some very simple things. It adds things like voice acting, and the voice acting doesn't suck. It's actually really good, which I'm super stoked about. Small things like animations on the character profile photos, so there's a little more life in the game now. Less random encounters and things like that. It's such a quality game, and it tells such a phenomenal story of just the struggle of the two armies fighting against each other and these characters that were friends and growing apart. It's a truly magical game. Now, I bought this physically. I bought the Nintendo Switch edition, and happily, there is actually a Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade that doesn't cost anything. So if you have the Switch version, you can upgrade to the Switch 2 release, which is super awesome. Out of the box, this is a $49.99 game, and I personally find this to be incredibly worthwhile because it's one of my favorite games of all time. So excited that we got a remaster, so excited that it exists. One of my absolute favorite games to play on Xbox is now available on Nintendo Switch. I say now. It's been available on Nintendo Switch since 2021, but I really truly enjoy Strange Brigade. This is such a quality game. So, first off, there's a single player experience on one system. You can also play local wireless 2 to 4 players or online 2 to 4 players, and it's a squad-based shooter, but it's not like a Counter-Strike squad-based shooter or anything like that. This is a little bit different. Think of a pulp adventure. Think of kind of like the Indiana Jones era of what your characters are going to be experiencing and when the gameplay is taking place. You're treasure hunting, you're fighting zombies, you're going through these amazing levels with these really memorable characters. It's an excellent experience. There's some great puzzles, a wonderful adventure, a fun story. I love the narrator in the game. There's nothing that this game does that makes me go, I don't think this is worth it. I love this game. Like I said, I loved it on Xbox. It's also fantastic on Nintendo Switch. Plays brilliantly on Switch 2. $34.99. I really do enjoy this one. Absolutely worth checking out. My Child of Ages is a very ambitious kind of Zelda-like game that I was really curious about and I'm really impressed by. So you play as Mai, both as a toddler and as a teenager. And as you play through the game, you're going to be kind of popping in between which version of Mai you're going to be playing as, whether it's childhood or adolescence. It's a really intriguing game. Now, it starts off kind of loose. You're playing as young Mai, you're just kind of collecting things, you have to go save the goats. And as you go through the tutorial level, you're going to learn the different aspects of the game that you need to learn about how to kind of make your way through the levels, how to jump, it's got an incredibly effective tutorial. And I'm really intrigued by the story because there's a war that happened, it's almost post-apocalyptic going on now, and there's a ton of different stuff that you're able to collect and find. I really think this is a clever game. And the further you go into it, and the more you learn about Mai's history, you're able to start rewriting the story. So there's some very intriguing stuff here. I will tell you, the controls are a little loose. So if you're looking for something that's crisp and just spot on, you're probably going to want to go elsewhere. But if you're willing to take a risk and take a chance on an independent game that is brave enough to try something ambitious, brave enough to try something new, and really put itself out there by telling an ambitious story with a really clever mechanic, My Child of Ages is something you should look into. It's a $14.99 game, and it's just fun. I absolutely love it. It's It's something where there's definitely some weaknesses to the title with, like I said, with the controls, but if you can get past that, you're going to love this game too. This game came out of the blue. The publisher for Gearbits contacted me cold on email and said, hey, I'd like to send you a code for my new Switch game. And I was curious because I really do like mech games, and I thought there was something intriguing about the screenshots I saw. I knew nothing about this game going into it, and going into game, first off, the story is really funny. I really like the writing. I like the kind of the art direction of the characters, because you can see where the extra effort went into making the mechs themselves look incredible, and kind of the hand-drawn characters look, they're there as set dressing. You don't want them to be the main feature. You want to get into the mechs. And I think it's a really clever game. There's a ton of stuff that you're able to unlock for each different mech. There's different weapons you're able to apply to each body part. The combat in the game is wonderful. There's jump jets, there's hover jets, there's melee attacks. It's a classic mech warrior game. It's just done with a sense of humor, and it's done by an independent developer that just crushes it. This game is like stupidly fun. I'm really, really incredibly impressed by this. It's got some really, really good gameplay. It is a single player experience from like top to bottom, so don't go looking for something kind of multiplayer here, but ton of different stuff, endless waves of enemies that are going to come after you, like bugs and stuff like that. It's an excellent title. Really love this game. It's $19.99, so if you're looking for a mech experience, check this one out. Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac is a game that I've wanted for a few years. Ever since the first Pac-Man World Re-Pac dropped, I was hopeful that we were going to get a Pac-Man World 2 Re-Pac, because this is my favorite of the Pac-Man World games, and I'm so excited that this exists because it's a wonderful, wonderful remaster of one of my favorite GameCube era games. There's definitely some changes and stuff here, but the gameplay itself is solid. It's not going to win any awards in today's day and age, but it's still fun. So, like, if you have an affinity for classic 3D platformers, collectathons, you're going to love this one. It is just so much fun. Every level has goals. Every level has things that you need to achieve. And if you do that, you're going to unlock costumes. You're also able to build an arcade. You're able to decorate Pac-Land. It's excellent. I absolutely love that this game exists. I bought this one physically. It's $29.99. This is a Switch 2 game. There is a Switch 1 release as well. One of my personal favorite additions to kind of like the lore of Pac-Man is the Pac-Man World franchise, and I love that we're getting remasters in this day and age. They're really fun, especially if you like classic 3D platformers. There's something kind of special about Folly of the Wizards here. So first off, it's a roguelike, so I'm going to dig it. I'm going to enjoy it. And I do like that this game is taking a chance on what it offers, because it's not really like anything I'd ever played before. It's a little bit Flint Hook, but it's not quite completely Flint Hook that I think it's a complete ripoff of it, because it does its own thing. First off, the game is ridiculous. It's absolutely comedic. It's silly. It's funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just out to have a good time, and you can't really fault anything for that. As you go through the game, you're going to collect different elemental abilities that are going to give you different abilities, different magic spells that you're able to cast. And I actually got one that made me shoot ice cream, which I thought was really funny. Unfortunately, it happened right before I got to the boss in the first level, and that was completely useless. But it's something where I really like the risks that they're taking. Now, I will tell you the game is properly difficult. It is very, very hard, and it does take a little bit of getting used to kind of acclimate yourself to the jumping mechanic, because it's not just a jump button. You actually have almost a jump gauge that you have to wait to have recharged to be able to move around and use the jump button. It's really interesting. It's a fun game, though. $29.99. If you're looking for a new roguelike challenge, check out Folly of the Wizards. I think it's pretty fun. Fun fact about Jay, my favorite animal is a capybara. I just love them. I think they're awesome. I like the fact that there are guinea pigs that you can ride like a horse out there in the world, and I think that's great. And I love that the world is starting to kind of pay attention to the fact that capybara are a thing and that they're amazing. And I am so stoked that there is a game like Extremely Powerful Capybaras out there, because It's so good. It's dumb. It's so dumb, but it's so good. So take the core concept of like a Vampire Survivors, where it's endless wave after endless wave of enemies. You have different classes you're able to choose from, different characters you're able to utilize, and when you go in a game, you're going to collect experience and gain power-ups, and that's great. It's wonderful, but you get to do it as a capybara, and that is so good. I love it. I absolutely love it. This game is so much fun. It's always random. It's always different. It's always something new and challenging and fun. It just works. You can play as a capybara bard. A capybara. And it's only $5.99. Can't beat that. And critically, it's up to 4 players. 4-player multiplayer action as capybaras for $6. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I love a good beat 'em up. So to see something like Heroes of Mount Dragon kind of just drop out of the sky on me and show me this incredibly fun, just new take on a beat 'em up featuring basically D&D characters is really, really appreciated. There's a ton of characters to choose from. I think there's 8 overall. You start off with 6 that are unlocked. You're able to unlock 2 further down the road. And the gameplay is fantastic. There's a basic attack, there's a special attack, it's kind of like a heavy attack, and as you go through the game, you're going to level the character you choose up and gain new abilities. It's a little bit like Chronicles of Mystara, if you have played those D&D beat-em-ups from Capcom in the past, but it's doing its own thing, and it's doing it with a wicked sense of humor. It's a very funny game. The character models are really cool. I really like the different enemies that you're going to fight. It's just a solid title. I'm always on the lookout for a new beat 'em up, especially something that is willing to try to do something in kind of a different setting. Heroes of Mount Dragon does that. It's a $15.99 game on sale right now. It's normally $19.99, but it's 20% off through November 24th of 2025. So if you are interested in getting this one, you got time. It's really, really fun. I love this game. Never has a game with a subtitle like Ragebound been more adequately proposed than Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, because oh my god, this game is so hard. This is a faithful addition to the Ninja Gaiden franchise, especially the 2D games, because holy crap, it's difficult. I love it though. So this is made by the guys that made Blasphemous. So you are in for a treat as far as 2D platforming and 2D action adventure goes, because it's so goddamn good. The look of the game is stunning. The audio in the game is fantastic. The gameplay is chef's kiss amazing. Any other month, this would be my #1 game. This would be my game of the month. But it is something that it unfortunately I picked it up at the wrong month because there was something else that I wanted to play as well. But oh my goodness, this is just, I'm so pleased that we are going back to and kind of seeing a revitalization of the Ninja Gaiden franchise, because I have Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out soon. That's a fantastic looking, wonderful 3D action game. And we also are getting Ragebound here, which is a faithful addition to the 2D adventures. And it's amazing. There's some really clever gameplay mechanics involved here. There's some really, really challenging level design and challenging enemies. And it's something where I just truly, truly enjoy it. And I am unbelievably impressed with everything that was brought forth in this game. Now, this is normally $24.99 digitally. It's on sale through the 16th of October for $19.99. It's worth every penny. But there is a physical release as well. That's the one I got. So if you're looking to be a physical collector on this, be sure to check there. What a surprise! Hades 2 is my game of the month, right? Like, it's anyone that has been on the channel for a while probably knew that Hades 2 is going to be very highly regarded by me. Hades is one of my all-time favorite video games. I think it is quite possibly top 5 games on the original Nintendo Switch, and I was eagerly anticipating Hades 2. It was something that I have purposely avoided any information on because I was so excited to play it and just see it with completely fresh eyes. I avoided everything on Steam. I avoided any information about it. I didn't read any articles about it. I just knew I wanted to play it, and I am so happy that I went in completely blind on this, because the storyline is incredible. The characters are magnificent. Malone is a wonderful protagonist, and she's deeply flawed. Like, she's not quite as easy to root for as Zagreus was in the first Hades. She's a little bit kind of naive, and you can see how she was sheltered growing up, being held, I don't want to say captive, but being held away from the rest of the Olympians by Hecate. I am so intrigued and so excited to keep playing through this game. It's something I have already dumped over 20 hours into. I've only had it for a week. It's something where I am just eternally impressed by everything the Supergiant team does. And I was, I'm not going to lie, a little bit concerned that I wasn't going to like this nearly as much as I liked the first one. And if I'm being honest, I think I do enjoy the first one more just because it was a completely new experience for me at the time. But it's like saying that's a 1A and this is a 1B because they're both brilliant. This is such a wonderful title. If you are familiar with the first one, this is going to be an easy game for you to drop back into. You're going to be excited to learn about the fate of the Olympians and what's going on, and you are going to want to kill Kronos. Death to Kronos. Hades 2 is a $29.99 game. If you buy it on the Nintendo Switch, there is a Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade for free. There is going to be a physical release of this game releasing in November. You can bet your ass I'm going to be getting that as well, but I just love this game. You owe it to yourself to play it. It is absolutely brilliant. 10 games, physical or digital. If you're looking for them, these are awesome games to add to your collection. If you're looking for a classic remaster like in Final Fantasy Tactics, a new game in a series like Hades 2, or a loving take on a classic franchise like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, there are amazing games on this list that I think you're going to enjoy. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite game that I featured this month. Let me know as well if there's any you'd like to see me feature going down the road. Until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.